Hi, I'm Royston guest, and welcome to this week's bite-sized series, my weekly series where I share one key idea, one golden nugget, one strategy for how you can be more successful in both your personal and your professional life. So, with so much to cover, let's get started with this week's title: How you can achieve more than you ever thought possible and in less time. There's a great quote that Anthony Robbins said that most people overestimate what they can do in a year, but underestimate what they can do in a decade. And certainly, having worked with literally tens of thousands of high achievers over the last 2 decades, those individuals have got the ability to just burn through stuff, to get things done, who are action orientated. There is a pattern of behavior, thinking, and subsequent action and results that allows them to achieve that. So, in this week's Bite Size series and on my weekly blog that you can go to at roystonguest.com, I'm going to really drive into this whole subject of how to achieve more than you ever thought possible and in less time. Now, the blog covers 6 key ideas, 6 golden nuggets, which I've really carved together from the last decade of working with these high achievers. Today on the Bite Size series, I'm just going to share 2 of those ideas with you. And last year was a real burn year for me in terms of the consultancy that I was doing, growing the core PTI business, conference speaking. Of course, we launched a book, Built to Grow. And people saying to me, Royston, how do you get all this stuff done and you still seem to have enough time for family? Because one of my absolute non-negotiables is that weekends are family time. I never work weekends. I'll pile in the hours, 10, 12, 14 hours during the week, but come weekends, that's my dedicated family time. And they always say to me, Royston, how do you manage to get so much done? And on the premise that last year I still managed to take just over 8 weeks holiday with the family. And there's a couple of key reasons. One is I've got a great team around me, and in life and in business, it is about surrounding yourself with great people who really connect with, who can make stuff happen. And the second thing is aligned to these 6 key strategies and principles that I'm sharing with you on today's Bite Size series and also on the blog. So let's cover the 2 that we're going to talk about on today's Bite Size series. And the first is about focus. And where focus goes, energy flows. And there's a Russian proverb that says, if you end up chasing 2 rabbits, you'll end up catching neither. Are you suffering from rabbititis? And unfortunately, in the world that we live in, there are so many distractions on our time. It's so easy to be pulled by email, by social media, people walking to your desk, thinking about the new shiny thing that you're going to focus on. And actually, high achievers have the discipline to be able to really focus on one thing and say, this is the one thing that's really going to make the difference. And you can take this concept to make it as big or as small as you want. So it can be, what's the one thing that you need to work on right in this moment now? And when I'm doing that, I switch off my emails, turn off all the distractions, even switch off my mobile phone, and I actually set myself time challenges for how long it's going to take me to complete a certain action that I'm going to be doing. It's great because it becomes competitive, of course, competitive with yourself being your own performance coach, but setting deadlines for activities, tasks, proposals, emails, or whatever it is that you're working on in the moment, giving yourself a time deadline to get it completed is a great way of creating laser beam focus and really starting to understand how long it takes you to get stuff done and how quickly you can burn through stuff. But you can also extract it into much bigger concepts in terms of what's the one thing that's going to allow you to really deliver success in 2017? What's the one thing that's going to really allow you to take your business to the next level? What's the one thing that's going to give you the best relationship from a personal perspective? What's the one thing that's really going to make a difference in how you develop, nurture, and bring your children up? So it is about creating laser beam focus, and on the blog I'll talk more about the whole concept of focus and where focus goes, energy flows. The second key idea is about the attitude of action. And elite high achievers, whatever their field of endeavour, they have an innate ability to be able to burn through stuff. It is that attitude of action. And one of the clients we work with have got a really simple philosophy when they think about strategy, when they think about how they move the business forward, and making sure they are relevant and agile in the marketplace. And the philosophy is simply this: they will spend 80% of the time getting this strategy, the thinking, and the plan right. Once they've got it 80% done, then they pull the trigger, because the last 20% they adjust the course and they work on in real time through implementation of the strategy. Now, I think there's something really telling in that for us, because I've met other businesses that spend so much time in the planning, trying to dot all the I's, cross the T's, think about what it is that they're going to do, look at the upside potential, but also the downside risks, the bureaucracy, the red tape they have to go through in order to get stuff signed off. And by the time they come to launching or capitalising on the potential opportunity, the opportunity's gone or somebody else has stolen the lead and are way out there at the front. So on this principle of attitude of action, I think it's a really simple principle, which is this: in all aspects of your life, personal, professional, is it about ready, aim, fire? Or actually, picking up on that philosophy of 80-20 rule, is it about ready, fire, aim? And, there's a great expression that says that when all is said and done, more is said than done. And the attitude of action actually is about turning that expression, that quote, on its head. When all is said and done, more is done than said. Are you one of those action-orientated people who just makes stuff happen? So there we have it. 2 key ideas on this week's Bite-Size series. Much more in-depth discussion on both these 2, but also the 4 other golden nuggets that underpin this strategy about how you can get more done than ever you thought possible and in less time. So for me, Royston Guest, as always, with Bite-Size series, hope you found that valuable. Hope you got one key takeaway, whether it's a key action or a relearn, and go over to the blog and check out the more detail that underpins this week's Bite-Size series. From me, goodbye for now.